So you got to make it do it because you know what? I'm looking jabbing. So if I be jabbing, you gonna try to get me.
In the world of boxing, certain events are expected, like rematches, comebacks, and rising stars, but Evander Holyfield training Jake Paul to face off against Mike Tyson, that was a curveball no one saw coming. Holyfield, an icon in boxing, is now in the corner of a social media celebrity turned boxer, gearing him up to fight his longtime rival Tyson. The stakes couldn't feel higher, especially with Tyson's intense reaction to this alliance. The announcement has everyone talking: boxing fans, social media influencers, and even some skeptics who wonder if this is part of the hype culture that's taken over the sport. And yet, beneath the celebrity appearances and media frenzy lies a more profound story, one about friendship, rivalry, and perhaps a lingering sense of unfinished business. When news surfaced of Holyfield's decision to coach Paul, the boxing community had more questions than answers. Is this merely a business decision, or is Holyfield sending a message to Tyson?
We know what people tell us how old we are. We know what people tell us we should be retired by this age. That's what they tell us. Our man's biggest downfall is to believe he has limitations. And that's what we do when we believe we're a certain amount of age. I don't think I'm 58. Do you think I feel 58? When I'm fighting them young niggas in the gym and they're bashing me, them big strong motherfuckers, and I'm bashing them back. You think I feel 50?
As we gear up for this unexpected bout, Holyfield's involvement adds a layer of history and rivalry that can't be ignored. And then, this isn't just any old training partnership. The connection between Holyfield and Tyson has always been complicated, to say the least, and seeing Holyfield in Jake Paul's corner feels loaded with intent. Could it be a final jab in their decades-old feud? A message that Holyfield isn't ready to fade quietly into the background? Or is he simply lending his expertise to a promising fighter in Paul? To understand the full impact of this decision, let's take a closer look at the clash that's woven into every punch, every strategy, and every ounce of preparation going into this fight. To understand the depth of Tyson's frustration, you have to go back to 1996 and 1997, the years that saw two of the most intense battles in boxing history, Tyson versus Holyfield 1 and 2. These weren't just any fights, they were brutal, fiercely competitive bouts that captured the attention of the entire world. The stakes were astronomical, and the fights weren't just for titles, but for pride, dominance, and legacy. Holyfield, already an established name, stepped into the ring against Tyson, who was coming off an incredible series of wins. Their first encounter was a clash of titans, with Holyfield securing an unexpected victory. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Holyfield proved he could stand up to Tyson's notorious power and aggression, marking the first major dent in Tyson's seemingly invincible armor. But it was the rematch in 1997 that would forever define their rivalry.
It's a thing where that both fighters make a lot of money, but I think Jake Paul, they kind of show everybody else and boxing that, hey, if he can make all that much money, why we ain't making all this much money? Because the fact of the matter is because it's different. He in a professional is a whole different line of boxing.
When it comes to Evander Holyfield, his career has always been about resilience, discipline, and overcoming the odds. From his early days in the sport to his later years as a celebrated heavyweight champion, Holyfield has built a legacy on hard work and strategy. So why, after all these years, would he decide to align himself with Jake Paul, a relative newcomer known more for his YouTube antics than his boxing prowess? The choice has sparked a range of opinions, from excitement to disbelief. To some, Holyfield's decision to train Paul seems strategic, an opportunity to pass on his knowledge to a younger generation and perhaps add a new chapter to his career. But for others, the timing of this alliance just days before Jake Paul faces Mike Tyson feels like it's layered with meaning. Is Holyfield trying to send a message to Tyson? For a man who once stood opposite Tyson as an opponent, taking on the role of a trainer feels symbolic, as though he's setting up a third victory over his old rival. This time not by stepping into the ring himself, but by preparing someone else to do it. In some ways, it feels as though Holyfield is taking a chance to get the upper hand again, even if indirectly.
Well, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter.
Boxing is as much about psychology as it is about physicality, and Holyfield's decision has added an emotional twist to this fight. For Jake Paul, having a seasoned champion like Holyfield in his corner could be an invaluable asset, providing him with insights and strategies that only someone with Holyfield's experience could offer. But whether this is strictly business or an unspoken challenge to Tyson remains an open question. Mike Tyson is a man who wears his emotions on his sleeve, known for his ferocity in the ring and his often controversial statements outside of it. Tyson is someone who doesn't take betrayal lightly. Holyfield's choice to coach Jake Paul struck a nerve, one that clearly brought up old wounds. From Tyson's perspective, this isn't just a professional decision, it feels personal. For years, Tyson has worked to rebuild his image, moving past his turbulent past to focus on personal growth, business ventures, and even comedic appearances. But boxing is still his heart and soul, and seeing Holyfield, an old friend and rival, on the other side of the ring in Paul's corner feels like a slight, perhaps even a betrayal.
Is Jake Paul boxing?
Yes.
I think that answer will shock a lot of people.
At first I was against it. I'm like, man, yeah, them dudes just using their YouTube status to come in boxing and make all this money. After watching him and seeing the seriousness that he's taking, sitting there, and I'm like, man, this dude can punch with that right hand. This dude really getting better. Like, he really can fight.
Tyson's frustration is palpable. He's spoken openly about the respect he has for Holyfield, and in recent years, they've shared some public moments that suggested their friendship was on solid ground. But Holyfield's move has reignited the rivalry in a way that feels almost intentional. For Tyson, this alliance might seem like Holyfield's way of getting one last dig in, a final subtle jab after all these years. Tyson is famously prideful, and his response to this news has been to double down on his training and prepare for this fight with everything he's got. For Tyson, this fight isn't just about proving himself against a younger, stronger opponent. It's about proving a point to Holyfield and reminding him who he is. There's a lot riding on this match, and Tyson is making it clear that he's not just in it for the spectacle, he's in it to win, and to make a statement that Holyfield's decision won't be forgotten easily.
5'10". So he got 3 inches on him.
I know.
3 inches for Mike Tyson's not a big deal, obviously. But Tyson is 57. And, okay.
I don't care.
when Tyson fought... Yeah. Okay, so when Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr., well, he clearly won. But he did seem kind of winded during that fight.
Roy Jones has skills that Jake will never have, even at that age. Jake's got a punch. But, see, Jake has fought really tiny guys in comparison to him. Nobody was... only Tommy Fury that I know.
At 58 years old, Mike Tyson is facing a physical challenge that few could imagine taking on. Yet if anyone can handle it, it's Tyson. His dedication to training has always been unmatched, and even now, he's pushing himself to new limits to prepare for this fight. For Tyson, this isn't just a friendly exhibition match. It's a battle to prove that age hasn't taken away his power, speed, or skill. Every session, every punch, and every sparring match has become part of his journey to show that he's still Iron Mike, a fighter who doesn't back down. Holyfield's decision to back Jake Paul has only fueled Tyson's motivation, giving him a reason to train harder, push further, and prove that he's still a formidable force in the ring.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on Netflix, finally, Friday, November 15th. What chances, less than 2 weeks out, are you actually giving Mike Tyson to defeat Jake Paul?
Mike admitted that his second personality, Iron Mike, has returned. Quote, "I'm always careful when that guy comes out. Every time I drink or get ready to fight, Iron Mike returns. I break out in handcuffs. Unfortunately, I have to fight and be that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. That guy haunts me. I wish I could stop that guy. I wish that guy died, but..."
Jake Paul has made a name for himself in the boxing world in a way that few could have predicted. Known originally as a YouTube sensation and social media influencer, Paul has surprised critics by taking his boxing career seriously, training rigorously, and delivering some memorable knockouts. His right hand has become his signature weapon, a punch that has brought him victory in fights against opponents who underestimated him. The recent viral clip of Paul knocking down his sparring partner with a powerful right hook has only added to the hype, showcasing the power and precision of his strongest punch. For fans, this is proof that Paul isn't just playing at being a boxer, he's a genuine threat, and his right hand is something that even an experienced fighter like Tyson will need to respect.
I think he's a mitt warrior The Instagram videos are cute, but we'll see what happens in the ring on November 15th at the end of the day. We'll see if he still got it.
Paul's right hook isn't just a punch, it's a tactic, one that has proven effective against seasoned fighters like Tyron Woodley, earning him the KO of the Year award. Paul knows that Tyson is a more formidable opponent than anyone he's faced before, but he's banking on his right hook to level the playing field. Tyson may have decades of experience, but Paul has youthful strength and an arsenal of powerful punches. The challenge for Tyson will be to avoid the right hook, and for Paul, the challenge will be landing it cleanly against a fighter as skilled as Tyson. This dynamic adds another layer of intensity to the fight, as fans eagerly anticipate whether Paul's signature punch will be enough to make a difference. Age is often considered a disqualifier in professional sports, especially in a sport as physically demanding as boxing. But Mike Tyson has never been one to follow convention. At 58, he's preparing to step into the ring again, this time with a point to prove not just to his opponent, Jake Paul, or his former rival, Evander Holyfield, but to himself and the world at large. For Tyson, this fight represents more than a comeback. It's a statement that he still possesses the raw power, speed, and mental toughness that made him a legend. His return to the ring is, in a sense, a rebuke to those who think age diminishes the fire within. Boxing fans and newcomers alike are watching with intense curiosity, eager to see whether Tyson can still perform at an elite level.
Everybody seems to think that Mike Tyson is going to beat the living daylights out of Jake Paul. But is he really? We're starting to get some drips of information about the types of rules that have been put in place for this fight, and to me, it's starting to look like a glorified sparring match. Again, these are just rumours, but it's all online, so you're going to have a look and see it for yourself. The first thing I'm hearing is that both fighters are going to wear 18-ounce gloves. Now look, typically I think for sparring, fighters normally wear around 14-ounce gloves, so you can only imagine when you're someone that is as powerful as Mike Tyson is, even at 58, which is how old he'll be when they actually get in the ring, you are severely limiting his ability to be able to inflict pain on Jake Paul.
Tyson's journey back to the ring has been an inspiring one. He's undergone grueling training sessions, pushing his body to its limits in preparation. There's a sense of nostalgia in watching him hit the pad, slip punches, and move with the same ferocity that defined his prime years. Yet, this isn't merely a sentimental comeback. Tyson is entering the ring with a resolve that goes beyond nostalgia. He's embracing his age and experience as advantages rather than limitations, turning them into assets that could outmatch Paul's youthful vigor. Tyson knows that a successful return could serve as the ultimate redemption, a final mark on a career that has seen highs and lows, controversies, and triumphs. For Tyson, this isn't just a fight, it's a legacy-defining moment, one last chance to remind the world who he is and what he's capable of.
What picture did you get on?
What pitch? They won't believe the spectacle that's going to happen. It'll be something they never experienced before, as far as pain's considered.
This isn't just about two boxers, it's a cultural moment, pulling in fans from across the sports and entertainment worlds. The fight represents a unique collision of eras, personalities, and motivations, blending old school boxing values with modern, social media fueled hype. Even those who usually dismiss celebrity boxing are finding themselves drawn to this particular matchup, curious to see how it unfolds. Will Tyson's experience and raw power overpower Paul's youthful energy and unconventional style? The mix of skill, rivalry, and spectacle has created an atmosphere charged with anticipation. In a sport where outcomes can be unpredictable, this fight has taken on a life of its own, a rare event that appeals to both hardcore fans and casual observers alike.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are my final recordings of Hot Boxing. I really enjoyed being a part of this journey and all the people that I met, the remarkable people that I met and interviewed. And by now, for me, this is my next chapter in life. Please enjoy the following socials at Mike Tyson and MikeTyson.com for my next venture, please. I love you all.
Jake Paul isn't entering the ring unprepared. Under the guidance of Evander Holyfield, he's developed a game plan that's carefully designed to counter Tyson's aggressive style. Holyfield's experience as a former heavyweight champion, particularly his first-hand knowledge of Tyson's fighting tactics, gives Paul an invaluable edge. Holyfield has faced Tyson's power and intensity in the ring and emerged victorious, so his insight into Tyson's strengths and vulnerabilities is unmatched. For Paul, having Holyfield in his corner means access to strategies and techniques that only someone who's faced Tyson directly could understand. This isn't just a case of a young fighter relying on his coach. It's a calculated partnership aimed at exploiting every possible weakness in Tyson's arsenal.
So you got to make it do it because you know what? Look at the jab.
Under Holyfield's tutelage, Paul has been focusing on footwork, defense, and patience, traits that will be essential when facing Tyson. Tyson's style relies heavily on quick, powerful strikes, and he often tries to overwhelm his opponents early on. Holyfield has likely instructed Paul on how to withstand that initial storm, waiting for the right moment to strike back. Paul's right hand, his strongest weapon, will be a key part of this strategy, but he'll also need to stay composed and avoid getting caught up in Tyson's rhythm. Holyfield's guidance adds a tactical dimension to Paul's game plan, teaching him how to counter Tyson's aggression with well-timed strikes and careful movement. This isn't just a battle of physical strength, it's a chess match, with Holyfield's insights helping Paul anticipate Tyson's moves before they happen. For Paul, the challenge will be executing this strategy under the pressure of the big stage, but with Holyfield's support, he's entering the ring with a well-prepared plan.
Mike Tyson knocks you out at this age with this level of inactivity, your career could be over. This is taking a chance to fight somebody as vicious as Mike can be.
You gotta risk it for the biscuit. That's the name of the game. I'm here to make history. I'm here for a challenge. I'm here to fight one of the most dangerous men in all of boxing. No one that ever did anything great got there with ease or by a easy, non-bumpy road. I'm here to challenge myself. He's vicious. He's a killer. I know all of these things. He has one punch knockout power. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time. But I will prove on November 15th, all the haters wrong, all of these YouTuber fucking hillbillies wrong. And that's what I've always done.
Boxing matches have always had a way of capturing the public's imagination, but this fight feels different. It's a clash that transcends sports, drawing in viewers from all corners of the world who are eager to witness an event that mixes history, rivalry, and modern celebrity culture. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has all the elements of a blockbuster, the legend returning to the ring, the unlikely challenger defying the odds, and the veteran trainer adding a twist to the tale. It's a fight that appeals to boxing purists curious about Tyson's comeback, fans of Paul's rise from social media to professional sports, and casual viewers who just want to see what happens when two of the most unexpected opponents face off.
I want to see how hard he hits, Mike. I really want to see, bro. Let's see all the legends, the myths, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin. People know that. Like, I take shots, so I think people are underestimating me being able to deal with his power, and that is something that it's going to make it interesting.
The anticipation surrounding this event goes beyond the usual pre-fight hype. People are tuning in not just for the action in the ring, but for the storyline that's built around it. This isn't just a match, it's a moment in pop culture, a point where sports and entertainment collide in a way that feels uniquely suited to today's media landscape. For fans of Tyson and Holyfield, this fight is a reminder of the intense clash that defined an era, bringing back memories of a time when boxing dominated headlines. For younger fans, it's a chance to see what happens when a modern-day influencer takes on a legendary champion, blending old-school values with a new-age twist. Regardless of the outcome, the impact of this fight will be felt long after the final bell rings. It's a spectacle that captures the spirit of both the sport and the era, proving that boxing still has the power to unite people in excitement, anticipation, and ultimately, shared memories. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.